Well, it's a great beginning. At least you have to start somewhere. Even if you see in Ashtanga Yoga, the asana is the third step at that ladder. First is yam, niyam, then asana, then pranayam. It all goes to samadhi. So, at least there is a great beginning. When they come in the yoga class, they learn, oh, yoga is not bringing flexibility in my body. There is more to it. At least there is a great beginning to start with. When they come more, they learn more. And then they go deep and deep and deep. And one day they say, wow. Time comes, they say, let the things go up and down, but I am not going to go up and down. I am going to stay grounded and anchored. I can tell you, yoga can become today great stress busters. Because yoga is not only for how to control your stress. Today we are giving the classes all over the world how to control your stress. But yoga is not only to control your stress, yoga is how to control yourself. It's not the stress management, it's a self-management. When self is managed, all is managed. When all is well, everybody is happy. When all is not well, then also you can be happy. Then you can stay calm and you can carry on. That yoga teaches you. Yoga is not mere teaching, yoga is a touch, which touches you and changes you.
Is there a difference between yoga in the West versus the Eastern philosophy of yoga?
Well, yoga, as I said, this is where we are sitting. The Himalayas is the birthplace of yoga. Definitely, when you take from the birthplace of yoga and go to the world, people have started giving birth in many other ways also. It's okay. They are giving different names, different kind of technologies and different kind of forms to that yoga. But end of the day, we all have to understand the yoga is union. It's not that we are not united. We are united. But with what? With our own ego, anger, grudges, expectations, desires, and our petty complaints. But the true yoga tells you, hey, come on, this is not the union you need. You need the true union, union with the self. When that self has that union, but believe me, then all those practices are one side, and that outcome of that yoga is other side, and that you need. So I am not worried that in the East what is being said are practice and what is being practiced in the West. Yes, there are many ways that we can keep that equality and formality in such a way that people are not confused. And end of the day, yoga should not become business. Yoga should not become commercial activity. Yoga is there to take you away from your mundane world and business activities. That being in business, how you can be easy. You can be busy, but how you can be easy in your every action, your thought, and your behaviors. Yoga is a great thing for your stress busters, for your behavioral change, and how to think better, how to perform better, and how to live better. For that is my goal, whether they take something from here or they create something new. In our culture, Indian culture, is beautifully said, Ano Bhadraha Kratavo Yantu Vishwataha. Let all the noble thoughts come from all directions. End is that you become a better person. Doesn't matter that if you are a Muslim, no problem. If you are a Jew, no problem. If you are a Christian, great. If you are a Hindu, wonderful. But end of the day, how we can become a better Muslim, better Jew, better Hindu, or better Christian. That is the goal. And above that, what yoga does to your life, how to become a better person, how to become a better human being, where you are not only thinking to have more, but to be more, how to share more, how to give more and live more. That is, to me, is true yoga, and truly this is the true meaning of yoga. Learn, makes yourself strong, through yoga. Yes, yoga is amazing. Yoga is medicine, yoga is magic, yoga is miracle, and yoga is panacea for many things that can really change your life, change your lifestyle even. So that's why, end of the day, no problem, we should not become too much focused and in fighting that this yoga or that yoga. We have to remember, I have to live yoga.